my interests were sports and classical music. I chose to get into sports. I chose table tennis, particularly. Outdoor sports have those challenges of rainy seasons. Badminton, of course, requires huge infrastructure. Comparatively, table tennis does not require that kind of infrastructure. So that's where we chose on table tennis. I thank those schools for allowing this to happen, because 5 to 6 years is the right age to get into any sport for them. These days, parents are mostly in a hurry. Sports breaks you mentally and physically. One mark here and there wouldn't matter much, I guess. Here, 1 point, you lose a game. Thanks to Gopichand, probably he's built it to what it is today. So examples like a Sharat Kamal, there are examples like a Manika Batra, our own Akula Shrija here, who are doing a phenomenal job. Manika Batra, I would say, or a Shrija Akula walks into a mall, you may not find people come rushing up to her for a selfie or an autograph. But a PV Sindhu walks in, people will, because ultimately it's a coach and the student, which, that bond is between them. We are all facilitators. State ranking tournaments which happen. There are 5 state ranking tournaments which happen in Telangana. Again, I would say, like in Bengal, there are 29 state ranking tournaments. So the kids start with the state ranking, and then eventually they are introduced at the national level also. Schools should have compulsory sports as a subject. It's the fastest sport on earth. It requires quick movements, razor sharp in your mind to play this game, and absolutely confident. If you have a healthy and fit generation, the country also grows. Cribbing is not enough. We need to contribute in whichever way, however we can. Decided to start a foundation and try and attract CSR budgets from these corporates. Somebody's father is a rag picker. Somebody's mother works as a house help. Somebody's father is a watchman somewhere. Tomorrow, you never know, one might become a national champ for all that you know.
Hello viewers, this is Mani Mohan Nukula. Welcome to another episode of Sport is Life. Please watch, like and subscribe to the channel. Today we have with us Ashish Chakrabarti, who is the founder of Ping Pong at SPARS Table Tennis Academy, Hyderabad. Ashish, thank you so much for talking to Sport is Life.
Thank you so much, Mani, for having me here. Sports is Life is a podcast channel which I have been following for a while now, and I've seen the best of best coming here and giving their views, which obviously helps a lot of people like us who have entered into sports at a later stage to pick the best from their experiences. So thank you so much for having me here. And then my journey in sports began probably in 2020. Officially, I would say, because I always played, leisurely cricket and badminton and stuff like that. But
so before that, Ashish, in 2020, I know you started this academy. So before that, what was?
I was in the media industry for almost 24 to 25 years. I worked in different brands, heading a radio station, in Hyderabad. And it's been 24, 25 years that I worked there. And I always wanted to do something of my own. And my interests were sports and classical music. So I picked up sports here. And while I was in the media industry, I tried to do as much as justice to my interests by supporting them in whichever way I could. And hence, after when I decided that I should do something of my own, I picked up sports, because as a child I always used to listen to my parents, friends during the Olympics or Asian Games that unfortunately India cannot win a medal, such a huge nation, not a sense. So everybody used to crib. And even I did the same. When we used to go to school, we used to listen to our parents and then repeat the same amongst ourselves, amongst our classmates. So that stayed in my mind for a very long time, and then I realized that cribbing is not enough. We need to contribute in whichever way, however we can. So when I had to decide that I'll do something of my own, I chose to get into sports. And I chose table tennis particularly because in Hyderabad or in Telangana, the number of entries when you see at a state ranking tournament are around 300 plus or 350 odd. Unfortunately, it is much lower than the capacity the state has, the abilities the children have these days. If I have to compare that with Tamil Nadu, a state ranking tournament gets around 1500 entries, which comes from 11 districts, I believe. Similarly, Bengal is there, similarly Maharashtra or Delhi, but Hyderabad is one place, or Telangana is one place, which I saw there is a huge opportunity to add value to the sport.
So you're saying overall Telangana it's 350 entries?
350 odd entries.
That's very less.
That's very less, absolutely less, and hence there is an opportunity. It's less is one story. The
Correct.
next part is there is an opportunity to
But
develop.
Ashish, you said you went to table tennis. That's not an easy decision. Why table tennis? Because there's so many other popular sports in
Right.
cricket and badminton, tennis. But what made you? Was there any specific, well, can I say inspiration, or what was that moment? You
No,
said,
honestly,
why?
I played badminton. So badminton
Yeah.
has always been my sport. I saw my father. I grew up seeing my father play badminton during Arif sir days, and
Yeah.
I used to go along with
Yeah.
him to LB Stadium and then
Yeah.
RRC
Correct.
and then ECL and all those places. But table tennis was never there in my radar at all. When I wanted to get into sports, I started zeroing down on what sport I should pick.
Yeah.
One, I was sure I wanted to pick an indoor sport because it's 365 days.
Correct. Oh,
right?
yeah. So
Outdoor sports have those challenges
Correct.
of rainy seasons.
Correct.
Indoor, so indoor again with a lesser cost. Badminton, of course, requires huge infrastructure.
Correct.
Comparatively, table tennis does not require that kind of infrastructure. Maybe 1500 to 4000 SFT place also would do, right, to start with. So that's where we chose on table tennis. Me along with a couple of friends who got together. We were neighbors again.
Oh,
so I just expressed my view. They said it's a great idea. None of us are from this background.
Okay.
None of us played professional table tennis. If I may have to take those names of my partners,
absolutely.
Sujit, then there is Praveen Vishwanathan, then there is Malka Ravinder and me. There's Manchit Madan who owns Indiana Sports. So we all got together and got into this venture. So
that's great. That's more amazing because you're picking a sport which you are like you said, there is opportunity for it. I mean, not everyone kind of do that. They want to kind of go with the popular way of saying that, okay, this is something which will help us and we can sustain it for a longer time. Because if you're picking a sport like table tennis, you will not be sure how it will be after 2 years. Once you
Absolutely.
So that is more and more
absolutely
amazing. So yeah. Please continue.
So we are not sure about anything. We may have long-term plans. When in childhood, people used to ask, "What would you become when you grow up?" We were blank. We were always blank. Some kids still had the guts to say, "I want to become an engineer." Some would say, "I want to become a doctor," but we never had the guts because we are not good students. We were always into playing some sport, in school. And luckily, those days schools had those infrastructure. Schools had that drive. Unlikely nowadays, there are huge grounds probably, but nobody's playing. Right? But we had that facility. Apart from the PT periods, 2 PT periods, we also played during the lunch hours or the short break hours or after school or before school. We were allowed to play. Now that isn't happening. Now everything is getting into a gated community culture where everything is secured, nice, and so
that's so true, so true. So, what were the initial challenges, Ashish, when you started? Like you said, 2020, the first thing that comes to mind was COVID.
Absolutely.
So, what was it like and what you had to go through?
So, 2020, we never knew that there would be a lockdown, and Jan 15th was supposed to be an auspicious day where Sankranti, and then we were told it's a good day to start with. So we started on 15 Jan 2020, and within just 3 months we had to shut down because of the COVID. 2 lockdowns we went through. So 1.5 years just got wiped out or washed out. We had to pay salaries. We had to pay half the rent of the space we are in. Right, so monetarily there's been a huge loss, and also time, you can say 1.5 years, 2 years just went off. Right, in those 2 years you could have actually nurtured a few kids. But that didn't happen. So you can say we started only in 22, officially that phase. Right, so we got in coaches from outside Hyderabad.
Cool.
We had coaches here also, local coaches who were from Hyderabad. They were doing a good job. But we realized that we need to, push the pedal a little more. So that's when we got coaches from Bengal. Bengal has been the hub of table tennis, and we got 4 coaches from there. They've done a phenomenal job. Worked on young kids from around 6 years old, 7-year-old to say 10, 11-year-old children. And those children now, after 2 years, get to practice for 8-9 hours a day. Some children do not go to schools regularly, or they have permission from school that they can skip the first 2 classes. So I thank those schools for allowing this to happen, because of which they are playing at the level they are playing today.
Wow. So Ashish, if I have to go a little bit for kids, which we're talking that it is so important for the under 10, sometimes under 12, to kind of groom them and nurture them to play any sport for that matter. So what is the pathway in table tennis? I mean, when you started the academy, I think that is one of the things you need to know. Okay, now the kids will start coming.
Right.
They have to play and they have to go to the next level. What is the pathway for a 12-year-old who's starting table tennis or 10-year-old?
The right age, what I heard most of the coaches, I would quote the coaches because they are professional players. I am not.
Yeah.
Right, I am just a facilitator here trying to get, put everybody together. So what I have heard from the coaches is 6 years, 5 to 6 years is the right age to get into any sport for that matter, and also table tennis. Right, so they would have to go through that grind and that journey. Under 11, under 13, under 15, 17, 19, men, women, whatever, right? The recognition only comes when you reach the men and women. You may be the number one in the state at under 15. Honestly, it doesn't matter much. It helps you just to tap your back and then say you're doing a good job. But till you don't reach men or women, you may not be able to get the kind of recognition you're looking for. Unfortunately, again, I would say these days parents are mostly in a hurry. I'm sure it was this case earlier also. Since I was not in the professional sport, I wouldn't know. But I'm quoting what I've seen now, that many parents are in a hurry to see that their child becomes a state number one or a national number one. It is not possible. In a school, we give 15 years or maybe 10 years of our child's time in a school without knowing what they would come out as after their 10th. We are ready to do that. But when it comes to sport, right, we say in 1 year's time, what is the next level? Or within 2 years, we say what's the next level. We don't reflect back and say that, we need to give the child that much time. He's ultimately a child, right? He needs a lot of, because sports breaks you mentally and physically. Studies is a different thing, right? Math, physics, chemistry and all that is a different subject. 1 mark here and there wouldn't matter much, I guess. You're 1 point, you lose a game, right? And it breaks you every day. You're physically, mentally broken every day and rebuilt again every day.
I mean, I think that is one great thing about sport. It teaches you to come back. It teaches you to deal with failures.
Absolutely.
Every sport, I think, any sportsman will see more failures than actually the success eventually when you actually look at it.
Absolutely.
So,
I've heard Rahul Dravid's one lecture somewhere. He said, you've only known the number of hundreds. Nobody sees the ducks he's made or the bad performances. That number would be much larger. And it's a case everywhere. We only see the good things. One Nobel Prize, great. One Olympic medal, great. But there's so many failures behind that.
Correct. But how are the opportunities? I mean, now that, like you said, 10 year, under 10, 12, under 15, whatever the categories which come in, are there enough opportunities in table tennis? Because this is a sport, like I was telling in my introduction, we all love, but we only get to see it during the prominent tournaments which happen, like Commonwealth Games or Olympics. So what are the opportunities for a kid who is taking up and say, hey, I am playing national level? So that should be some kind of pride for them also.
Absolutely. See, opportunities needs to be built. There is an opportunity. How you work towards is another angle you need to look at. Badminton, probably a few decades back, if you go, not much happened in Hyderabad, right? Thanks to Gopichand, probably he's built it to what it is today, right? Somebody has to work towards it. There are people working, of course, in table tennis also, but I felt it required a push. It required a major push to reach that level. That push is your time. That push is the money you pump in. That plays a very crucial role as well. It's all nice to say that you should play a sport, but what's in for me in that? If that question is answered, it is taken care of. So that's an opportunity I saw and then got in. Like a badminton, like a cricket, right? You may find better opportunities or equivalent opportunities here in table tennis also, right? Because there are people, there are examples like a Sharat Kamal, there are examples like a Manika Batra, our own Akula Shrija here, who are doing a phenomenal job.
Absolutely.
So there are opportunities, of course. Unfortunately, they have not been marketed enough. Today, if a Manika Batra, I would say, or a Shrija Akula walks into a mall, you may not find people come rushing up to her for a selfie or an autograph. But a PV Sindhu walks in, people will, be all over her there. So that's the unfortunate part in this sport. But while I say so, we need to work towards it. There are many such sports which did not get its due. So we need to work. So I'm just doing whatever little I can to add value. I am not saying I'll transform it. I am not saying others have transformed it. transformed it. It's a collective effort which the coaches or the association
Correct.
or everybody puts in together.
So the kids who join the academy, SPARS Table Tennis Academy, so they get to, once you identify the talent, you nurture them and they start playing in these tournaments, national level,
Yes,
state
yes,
level
yes.
tournaments.
So after maybe around 2 years of training, it depends on the coaches. It's a coach's prerogative.
Okay, yeah.
Even while the parents sometimes insist that they should start playing, the coaches decide when they should start playing.
Correct.
Because ultimately it's a coach and the student which, you know, that bond is between them. We are all facilitators. I tell the parents that you're just a mere facilitator.
Yeah.
You know, dropping, picking up, providing good nutritious food is your job. Beyond that, it's not your job. So we pick them up, and after maybe around 2 years of training, we just start introducing them to the tournaments. We need to be very careful then also, because some kids are, you know, they probably could back out because of a loss. Because unfortunately not everybody sees a loss as an opportunity.
Yeah,
right? So if they lose, they would just back out. So we'll have to ensure that they're, you know, nurtured properly. They are brainwashed, I would say, that it's okay if you lose.
Yeah, it's part of the
absolutely
game.
okay. And we tell the parents also, don't build you know, expectations from that age.
Yeah.
It's a long journey. How you've given it to your school education 10 years, you don't go and ask a teacher that why isn't my child going to the next level, why isn't he becoming a doctor now.
Correct.
Right? Similarly here you need to give that time to a child.
Yeah.
Let him or her go through the complete process.
Yeah.
After maybe 8-10 years they will reach a certain level where they can play at a professional level, at a national and international level.
Okay. So what are the tournaments, Ashish? I mean, like you said, there's state tournaments happening, and
Right.
if you have to go through the tournaments and to get that, saying that get into that main category, so what are the tournaments they have to play to get in? You're saying like what takes 5 years or sometimes?
So there are state ranking tournaments which happen. There are 5 state ranking tournaments which happen in Hyderabad. Again in Telangana, again I would say, like in Bengal there are 29 state ranking tournaments.
Oh, wow.
Or 28 or something like that.
Oh, that's a huge difference.
That's a huge difference. In Telangana we have 5 because of the numbers again. Which will of course eventually go up, I am assuming, with the effort which everybody is putting here, including the state association. So that will grow, and it starts with the state ranking, and once they are in the top 4, they get to also represent the state at the national level in the championship.
Okay. Yeah.
Right, so the kids start with the state ranking, and then eventually they are introduced at the national level also, because you can imagine at a national level, there are, if you are number 1 in Telangana, there are 23 or 24 more number 1s coming there from across India.
Correct.
That's right, and number 2s or number 3s or number 4s. So the competition is fierce over there. It's ruthless over there.
Okay.
So they have to be eventually introduced to that platform as well.
Okay. So do you, and my next question was related to that, in terms of the challenges from a coaching standpoint or infrastructure.
Right.
And like you said, table tennis, even though it requires a table and it's indoor.
Right.
So what challenges do you face from coaching point of view? I know you had to get coaches from outside to
Right.
but how is it now for the last 4 years or 3-4 years?
It's okay. I will say it's okay. I am a bit lucky, I would say, to have got good coaches. If I may again have to name them, Ritvik Das is from Bengal, Shubhankar Nath is from Bengal, Riju Ghosh, another coach who's from Bengal, who've come here. They're young coaches, they're 24-25 years, and they have been playing table tennis all their life. Since they were 5-6 years old, they started playing. But at a stage when they reached that men's category, they couldn't prolong it further because of probably the results and the monetary, challenges they would have had. So then that's how they got into coaching. So they had that zeal and that passion in them that we couldn't do it. So can we at least help others do it? So they've been passionately working. So I would say I'm lucky on that front. But yes, having said that, it doesn't stop there because they have to grow as well. And for their growth, we need to also have money. And for their growth, we also need to have that many students, right? So it's a cycle which you have to go through it. So they've done a phenomenal job. Like I said, we have decent number of children who come. We have also adopted some 8 underprivileged children.
I want to talk about that. But when you talk about the numbers, I mean, just when it started, 350 was the figure which you gave me when you came to know. What is now?
It is more or less the same, I would say. It is more or less the same because unfortunately, when the children reach their 10th standard, the parents try to put a clamp. They don't see much benefit in the child. Even if the child is playing decently well, but not performing at a national level, the parents take a call because this is the time where they decide whether they should take sports seriously as a profession or get into their studies, engineering or whatever they're looking at, right? So they're dropouts at that stage.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, but that's the reality. You have to face it.
Yeah, I think that happens with every sport.
Across, I'm sure. It is across
it
India,
does.
not only in Telangana, across India, that's the scenario.
That's true. So, Ashish, if you have to do 2 or 3 things which you think will really benefit table tennis from the grassroots level for Telangana, for that matter, because there are specific states who are doing really good, like Bengal and Tamil Nadu and few other. So, what is that you want to do for Telangana table tennis, which you think can boost table tennis across? People can take it up the opportunities wise.
So I don't know if I can do it myself. It is a whole ecosystem which has to come together to do it. First and foremost, I feel schools should have compulsory sports as a subject.
Yeah.
Since we don't have it, parents don't push their children.
Yeah.
If we have it, the parents will start pushing. Not only table tennis, they can play kabaddi, they can play a team sport or an individual sport. The idea of a physical literacy, right, has to be put across properly because today's child is unlike we.
Yeah.
We spend more time outside in the grounds,
Yeah.
right, running around, playing around. Today's child is more, attached to the mobile phones or their tabs.
Seriously. Yeah.
Right, so they are not exposed to the outside world.
Yeah.
Sometimes you also see that child today doesn't know how to speak or ask questions or answer questions.
Yeah.
Because of their exposure to the tabs or the digital world, I would say.
Yeah.
Right, so one, getting sports introduced at a school level across. Two, we need to get into the district level also.
Yeah.
Because cities have limitation.
Yeah.
If you see the children who come from districts, they come with a lot of vigor.
Yeah.
They want to see, for them city is here and they are here. That's what they feel.
Yeah.
Right? Because of the glamorous world they see in a city, the high-rise buildings and all that.
Correct.
But grass is greener on the other side always.
Always.
Sitting here, I feel those children are much more happier because they have a lot of greenery to see, a lot of open spaces. We don't have that here.
Yeah.
However, so if we don't get into the grassroots level there at a district level, we will not be able to add numbers. Because this is a limitation in a city. 350 can probably become 700.
Yeah.
Is that enough? No,
Yeah.
it's not. So until unless we don't get to the district level and then start getting children from there, it will not build to the level it should actually build.
Absolutely.
So that's my district level and school level is what I feel should be it.
And previously we talked about these players who have created that impact, right? Sharat Kamal, Manika Batra, Shrija Kula. There's so many who have, whenever Commonwealth comes or Olympic comes, we are glued to the TV when table tennis comes because we see these players performing consistently for so many years now. So how do you think, I mean, especially in the last few years when these come, has that made an impact? People taking them as inspiration and saying that, hey, I picked up table tennis.
Yeah, it has made an impact, but the impact is limited to only those who have been introduced to table tennis. So somebody playing table tennis today knows Sharat Kamal or a Manika Batra, right? But people who are not playing table tennis may not know a Sharat Kamal, may not know a Manika Batra, right? They may not know these players that well.
Yeah.
So a lot of marketing is also required. Cricket is what it is today because of the legacy it has. There are so many people who work towards it. You know, BCCI has done a fantastic job, I would say. Whether it is IPL, a lot of people don't like IPL, but if you don't add value, it doesn't grow. Today there are many players who are surviving or able to live their dreams playing an IPL. They may not be representing India, but they're still playing an IPL. Something is happening.
Absolutely,
right?
no doubt.
Good, bad, we may debate on it later, but something is happening. The ball is rolling at least.
Totally.
Similarly, badminton is doing well now, right? Similarly, kabaddi, I would say, is doing
the Pro
well.
Kabaddi
Pro
League
Kabaddi and all that is doing well. So there is an opportunity here also. We need to do a bit of marketing as well.
Was there a league in table tennis which started?
Yes, there is still one league, UTT, yes. It's still happening, but unfortunately, that's what I'm saying. Many people don't know.
Yeah.
you have the best of the best players coming in from across the globe and participating, but people don't know.
Yeah, I think when I was doing my research a little bit, I know that there was an ultimate table tennis league
Correct.
that started, but really I didn't know that it was continuing. That is something.
Not many know, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. But if you look at it from a sports perspective, it takes the same effort. If you're learning a cricket or a badminton, but table tennis, whether it is the fitness.
Absolutely.
I wanted to ask that quick question here. Is the importance you give to fitness? The second question is different, but you think that is very important in table tennis?
It is very important. See, table tennis has been perceived as a leisure sport.
Yeah.
In an office, you're tired working on a system, go just have a few knocks and come back.
Correct. Yeah.
You go to a resort,
Yeah.
right? You have a table, just knock for a few minutes and then you're done, right? It's a leisure sport. But it's the fastest sport on earth, right? It requires quick movements.
Correct.
So if you have to play at a professional level, you need to be absolutely fit. You need to be quick. Fraction of a second, you decide your opponent's movement and then his action or her action and then the way the ball is coming.
Correct.
And then you have to adapt to it.
Correct.
Right? It's a very fast game and you have to have fitness there.
Yeah, we can. And when we play for one set also, it's like you're pouring in and you have to continue for a long time.
Absolutely.
I mean, the effort, I mean, this place which we talked about, I mean, I'm sure it must be like
Absolutely. Somebody asked me, a known person asked me, why did you choose table tennis? क्या है उसमें? मतलब छोटा सा जगह, two people playing. There's no. See, they are looking at the glamour part of it, which in tennis you see probably, right? Which you see in probably badminton now.
Yeah.
Which you see in cricket also.
Yeah.
This probably does not attract many people. Which you see in football. Correct. Today, every child wants to become a Messi and Ronaldo.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. Because of the marketing which has happened, right? There are people who worked around it.
Correct.
Now, there is money which is required for it. Now, the question is what comes first, the money or your effort?
Yeah. So true.
If you have only money, there's no effort.
Yeah.
If you have a lot of effort, money will come in.
Yeah. That's
But you need to make a choice there.
Correct.
There are coaches probably who, manage in a very small way and they put in their, I know a lot of coaches who put in a lot of effort. There's no money. After a year or two, the parents get restless and they say, my child is not growing. My child is not playing well enough, right? As per my expectations.
Yeah.
So they move to another academy. What happens to the poor coach? He puts in all that effort, works hard, passionately, right? While being a professional or sales or marketing professional, I always would want to tell a coach that don't have those attachments.
Yeah.
But it is not easy. They have those attachments.
Coaches
Without
do.
that,
Yeah.
it cannot happen.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
So,
Yeah, and one more aspect, Ashish, mindset. I mean, that is something which all the sportsmen regularly talk about, is that after a point, after the teaching of the skill and the technique is done, once you go at a different level, once you start representing nationals or international, mindset matters. I mean, do you think that coping with the pressure and confidence, there's so many aspects that come in. Nutrition is something
absolutely.
Does it all, how does you think in table tennis from point of view?
It's the same across all sports. Your skill development, your the shots you play, the top spin or the chops or whatever.
That is one aspect.
That is skill aspect. Then there is fitness aspect. You have to be fit. You have to eat well.
Yeah.
Right. So we have in our academy, we have children who get the tiffin boxes and they all have a break at 7:30 in the evening. So they all sit down on a mat and they share their tiffins and all that. So we also, kind of look into the tiffin, and if we see a little oily stuff, if we see something which is not nutrition driven thing, we just request the parents that can you add some green vegetables to it, fibrous food, or can you add some nuts or something like that, instead of just giving one dal and rice without much. See, of course, dal has a lot of protein, no doubts about it. But can you make it a little more interesting for the child? Because half the time the child eats half the tiffin, packs out the remaining and keeps it there.
Correct.
Right?
But anything specific from dealing with pressure? I mean, you take
again, coming back. So it is skill, it is fitness, it is nutrition, and it is also the psychological factor.
Correct.
Right, because it is a high pressure game.
Yeah.
11 points game. By the time you settle in, you warm up, you're done.
Yeah.
Right, you don't have time.
Seriously.
Unlike a badminton, unlike a cricket, you have the whole day or 20 overs or whatever today. It is 11 points. It finishes like this.
True.
So you have to be absolutely sharp in your mind, razor sharp in your mind to play this game, and absolutely confident. Again, yeah, heartbreaks happen, especially when I see the children, they lose, they cry. That's normal. That's very normal. We need to ensure that they get back on their feet quickly. Right? It's a very normal phenomenon where people feel bad when they lose, but that's perfectly fine. It's a part and parcel of the game.
Talking to the players and the kids about
The coaches do it, but after a certain age, we need to have a professional doing that job.
Yeah.
Because not everything a coach can do.
Correct.
Right? Not everything. So you need to have specific people.
Yes, in terms of sports psychology or some.
Absolutely.
In terms
you need
of instilling
to have
that.
Somebody has to do it.
Yeah.
So right now it's me who is doing it to whatever extent I can. I'm not a professional.
Correct.
Right?
But yeah.
For under 11, under 13, I can still manage. But after a certain level, they need that professional help.
Correct. Absolutely. So lastly, I think you talked about it in between, but that is such a good thing what you're doing. I want to talk about is SPARS Foundation. I think you picking up kids from who didn't had the privilege to play this game or play, and you are nurturing them, giving them coaching and making them play these tournaments.
Right.
So can you just talk about what this foundation does?
Sure. So that's very close to my heart now. When we started, we never had this in mind. The plan we had is to add value to get more and more people introduced to sports. That was our plan, but it so happened that maybe in 22, I think, there was this boy who came up to our door and he was watching the other kids play. His name is Tanay. He was watching. So the first day I observed him, he was there throughout for almost an hour and a half or two. His father was sweeping the corridors and all that. They live downstairs in that building where we have an academy. He came the second day as well. And then I left him on the second day. I didn't ask him anything. I let him be there. He was third day when me and our coach then, so Suresh was there. So we called him inside and asked him if he would want to play. He said, I would want to because I was playing football and unfortunately there in the ground, the seniors bullied me so much that I stopped going there. So that's how the journey began. And then today we have 8 such children. What we realized is potential. There is talent. Untapped talent. Right? Just because they come from a lesser privileged background, they don't have the resources, they don't have the money to take care of. So we picked up such children. Today I can probably say that 2 of those, one boy and a girl, have represented Telangana at nationals. For the last 2 years they've been doing that. And we have another 2 who are in line, they are doing as well, as good as these people are doing now. So they will also probably get into that zone. So again coming back, it requires a lot of money. It's not easy. Like I was saying, it requires these children need a lot of money to back them up. So then we realized, initially we managed with our friends contributing, family members contributing, a couple of corporates who I had some decent relationship with in my career. They came forward and helped, but that was not sufficient. So that's when we decided to start a foundation and try and attract CSR budgets from these corporates. Right? It is not so easy to attract CSR budgets for sports again. The CSR budgets are more for the government projects, the government schools and all that, because there's an obligation with the government also. Most of these organizations have. But I'm a sales guy, so I've been trying to do whatever I can to get that money so that these kids don't stop in between. They have reached a certain level, they're playing well, and they need to be supported. So foundation, what we do is pick these children, try and train them as much as possible to reach a certain level, and then we try and support them to further move on in their career. So tomorrow, you never know, one might become a national champ for all that you know. You never know, right? So these kids have a lot of vigor, and the best part about these children is their parents know nothing about what's happening with these children in the academy. They get scolded, at times they get slapped also, right? But they have no knowledge about what's happening here. Somebody's father is a rag picker. Somebody's mother works as a house help. Somebody's father is a watchman somewhere, right? They are busy with their own work. They really do not know what's happening with the children. They only see the child is coming back happy. The child is coming back with a trophy. And the child is winning some medal and cash prize. So if a girl comes back with a 10,000 rupees cash prize, the parents are more than happy. The whole month they are not earning that much. Right?
True. I
So-
think that's amazing. Yeah.
So whatever way we can add value, we are trying to do that, and we
Yeah.
would urge more and more corporates to look at
Absolutely.
sports
Yeah.
because what I feel is if you have a healthy and fit, generation, the country also grows.
Correct.
The nation grows. If you
Yeah.
have children who are weak
Yeah.
physically and mentally, the nation doesn't grow.
Yeah, totally. I think that's amazing, Ashish. I think what you're doing, I think that is something I didn't see many of the academies doing this, having a foundation. I think that is such a good thing to do. I mean,
There are,
there's
I'm
so
sure.
many.
There are foundations, I'm sure. There are foundations which does.
Okay.
But the support is more for those players who get stuck after a certain middle class, upper
Correct,
middle class
correct.
families also. See, it's not very easy.
Yeah.
For a child to participate in a nationals, 30 to 40,000 at least is the cost. Minimum, I'm saying. So likewise, there are 5 or 6 such nationals they have to travel to.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Then their paddles, the rackets are not, people see a small racket, but then it's very expensive. The rubbers which are there on both the sides cost around 8 to 10,000 and they have to be changed every
I didn't know that. Okay.
2 months.
Oh.
There's a recurring cost there.
Yeah,
Each ball is 150 rupees.
Wow.
Right? So
Yeah,
it needs a lot of money. There are foundations who are supporting such children also, who come from middle class, upper middle class families. We would also want to get there, but our aim is now, as of now, to get these children, the underprivileged children, on the forefront and then support them.
Oh, wow. Ashish, thank you so much, Ashish. I think the information what you gave, I think it's so important for all kids who are playing sports. Table tennis, definitely yes. I mean, I think now they can actually take this information and say, hey, yes, if we continue to play that, I mean, I think we can achieve it. It gives happiness, it gives joy for them. I mean, I think that is the most important thing of sport, isn't it? I mean, I think if you start enjoying your sport, I mean, that will take you a long way. Like you said, if you put the effort, the rest of the things follow.
Absolutely.
I mean, and the foundation, what you're doing is amazing, and nothing but all the success and wish you all the best.
Thank you
so
so much.
Ashish.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.